only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. Guys, it is Hump Day.
Just like that, boy.
August 3rd. We are into August, guys. It has been an interesting start. It's the kind of start I wish you could have to every month, Jade. If the first and second of every month were holidays, oh, what a wonderful place this would be. But, guys,
we could only dream.
But you're here, guys, with me, your fave, Azam, and of course, sitting next to me is Empress Mouse. I like it.
Is
Jade.
that my name for today?
I like it. I like it.
My little buns?
I like it. Jade Gwenidita CPL Mathis Stuart Johnson is right here next to me, guys, for the next hour and a half.
Yeah, man.
Because we missed a bit on the top. I want to apologize to everybody who has been waiting for the tea.
We had to hear a very important message.
So chocolate 5 was important.
Nothing.
Yeah, it was a message from the first national hero. I had not listened to it.
It's quite interesting. The bits and pieces I picked up.
Yeah, definitely. But Jade, before we get into today's proceedings, I would really love to know about your weekend. How did you spend your lovely few days off?
Well, it was my best friend's birthday this weekend, so we was out and about.
Lit.
We went to Nevis.
As did almost everyone.
Yeah, we didn't get to stay for the big festivities, but we did a little Nevis liming.
Okay.
And then I went to another friend of mine, surprised but knew about it party.
One of those.
Yeah. And then I just rested all day yesterday. As a matter of fact, I over-rested because then I couldn't fall asleep, so I was up till 3 o'clock creating an invite for my son's birthday.
You
wanna see it?
Yeah, sure. Let me see what's going on there.
Yeah.
Which I know is... What?
Yeah, man.
It's a nice picture as well.
I know, right? I have to fix the hairline a little bit, but you know, I got them skills.
Yeah.
I'll make sure it's crispy.
Yeah. That's cute, son.
Oh, he is, right?
Yeah.
He might be a little only child, but don't say that.
Yeah, I guess...
Well, you was working.
Yeah, that's pretty much my weekend. But I did, like... so let's see. What went on the weekend? Friday would have been the... What? Friday was Calypso?
Yeah.
No.
No, Friday was
Soca Manak.
Yeah.
Oh, that in itself is interesting.
Acquisitions one?
all the crowns come sink it.
If people they say they cheat.
I don't think so. I think a lot of people were they agreed with the decisions.
Okay. Once me really see nothing on Facebook saying, you know.
Yeah.
So I just had to ask about the crowd.
You had to wait until Sunday to see that, Jade.
Yes, Sunday I did see a lot of that.
You and I am here to say that I agree.
Ooh.
And let me tell you something, Jade.
Hot take.
I ain't a hot take. Everybody got the same take. Everybody got the same take. No,
I think the crown should have went somewhere else.
Let's bear in mind, Jade. Again, I don't claim to be the biggest pageant. I judged a pageant before. I think I judged a talent segment somewhere before. I don't remember if it was. I don't even think it was in Sink It. But yeah, they flew me out somewhere to do that. I don't go to stations, and so to judge the shows and so. Not here though.
They don't appreciate you here, that's why.
Oh, anyway, so I remember by the end of the show, Jade, I've been going for like the last month and a half. So I decided I don't know who win the show.
You thought?
I know who win the show. Everybody in the room knew who win the show. I literally said, guys, I know who win the show. I go and sleep. So I put my head down on my console. Right? And within, I would say, 7.5 seconds, I was out. Right?
Sounds pretty accurate.
This is at the end of the show. This is like when the DJ just playing, waiting for the things to come and so. Next thing, I just get woken up by this scream of horror, Jade. So I wake up in a frenzy, like what's happening? What's happening?
Things burning down.
I don't know what is happening. I look. So we have a screen in the room where I'm at, right? I look up on the screen and there's this person sitting in this chair. I'm like,
who that?
What's she doing in the queen chair?
She's the queen, I mean.
And then I recognize that's the queen. I mean, congratulations to her, of course. But I'm going to tell you, Jay, the overwhelming majority of the attendees had a different queen in mind.
That's all your business.
Yeah.
That is all your business.
Yeah. Not only them in attendance, Jade. My entire feed. Actually, someone took a screenshot of their WhatsApp status.
It was crazy.
It was just all, wow, the cheat, me F, like, it just like the whole section, Jade.
Yeah.
My entire WhatsApp.
I was probably sleeping them times. This was?
This was Sunday, which would have been what, the 31st?
What was my Sunday?
Well, early Monday morning.
Oh, I probably was still I was out with Chrissy. Yeah, I was out with Chrissy still.
And so that was interesting in itself.
Yeah.
And then from that, I left by this night it was crazy. So I left there, literally walked out the complex, went down in the village, mixed Marlax. Then after there was basically Juve.
Juve looked. Oh man, if I would have enjoyed Juve, boy. You see, man, if I at the place where I could, I like crowds, but man, if I could do Juve crowd.
A Juve crowd different.
Especially with all the poxes and the COVIDs and everything still spreading. Like monkeypox. COVID scared me, eh? But monkeypox got me feeling different.
And this is what I was telling people. Remember, we had this conversation. I said, if y'all want people to take COVID serious, all you have to do is tell them you're going to make them uglier.
Because
that's all what people scared with monkeypox. People just don't want to do things like have things that make them look weird. People more concerned about how they look than if they die.
Yes.
Yeah.
And You know.
But we live in. I think I keep saying, right. I think the sociologists of the next like 2 generations, they're gonna call us the vanity age. Like we're living in the vanity age. Like everything is just about how you look. Like that drives everything.
Well, that's one aspect for me, but I also have a very serious fear of holes. Like if there are too many holes in the same space, I don't remember what you call that, triphobia or something like that.
Holes, maybe holes like in the road and something. Like
No,
what you talking
like okay, so you see how monkeypox has circles, right?
about?
There are too many.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. I know what you mean.
I can't. As every monkeypox photo has given me goosebumps. It scares me to death.
Yeah, I don't think anybody out there thinking, oh, that's pretty. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's past the vanity thing for me, you know. It's the fact that the circles thing freaking me out. As if I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. But congratulations to all the winners
Yes.
over in Culturama. Yeah, the Kings, the Queens. So we have Astro, we have Blade who won the Groovy. We have T-Bone and Mr. Hype.
Yeah.
Hey.
Big sipper.
Yeah, bye. Hey, let me ask you a question, bye. At what point we gonna get the official apology from like the Carnival Committee to Mr. Hype?
That happening.
Ain't happening either.
Let's move on.
That ain't happening either. Okay, cool. Okay.
We don't apologize here.
Okay.
Well, you keep asking for apologies.
So up to now, a lot of people ain't realize like that they don't get sort out and like they had to be like, okay, Hype, yeah, sorry about that. Like,
Oh, to him.
Yeah.
But they can tell us for.
Okay.
Their business apparently.
Okay, yeah, that don't get started though. I come in here, I was like, they're gonna have to give him back. They're gonna.
Oh, so they gave him back?
Yes, Jade.
And nobody know. Imagine that, eh?
Like Jade,
I out there calling the man all kind of cheat and scammer.
oh, you sing people's song?
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
just take up people's song? I said,
Well,
like,
he didn't take up nobody's song.
I said, but wait there, like, and I kept saying this, I the producer for this song literally on stage.
But he family.
Anyway, like, that's a whole other thing there. But they went to Nevis with another song, and one over there as well. Him and T-Bone, right?
Vibes.
Yes, and then of course, let's get the young lady's name, who won in Nevis.
Who won what? The crown?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, look for that on Jade. And one of the things that I had a lot of fun with.
It's easy to find. Hold on, one second. 1 second, friend.
See, we still think it's a Curious Guy song.
What curious or good?
No, what happened is this are the guys sing his version of the song, and so they figure like Hype thief the bad song, not recognizing that he's one of the writers. He's a co-writer of the song. The song was written for Hype. So the man.
Yeah.
So we got. And the thing what I don't like about that, they wait until the night of the show to be like, hey.
Like they didn't know it.
Because and that's all I know, like it's just like willfulness. Hey, like to say somebody was just like listening to the show the night and just happened to find the song. Like they have all the time, they just wait until the night
They
to
got
just
to
be like,
have it. He had to submit it.
no, what I'm saying is the version of the song on YouTube. Right? But anyway, that's all of that. That's all of
Yeah,
that.
so this is the young lady that won. Charlisa Paris, I think.
Yeah, Chalissa Paris,
Okay.
yes.
Congratulations to you. Don't study them. They can't take that cloud.
No, she win, man. Even though it's a 1 point win, it's a win.
They got to just vex till next year.
That's all. That's all. That's all.
So you
That's
go.
all. That's all.
But
That's it, and that's all.
But unfortunately, I have bad news.
Oh, before you get to the bad news, because I feel like.
No real bad man.
Oh, okay. Well, let me finish this here, because it would be remiss of me not to mention all of the amazing sippers that I met on the weekend
Aww.
over in Nevis. Everywhere I went, people just keep asking me for Jade. Nobody asking how I doing. Nobody want to drink of water. Nothing. It's just like, we ain't walk with Jade.
We have our own lives, people.
That's
We're
like,
not
no.
conjoined twins.
No, but
We're
they
not attached at the hip.
You understand?
Even if we behave so.
yeah. I guess they only see us like this, so they probably think we just like this all the time.
Oh.
But
I mean, that's a good point.
yeah,
but,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. But at the same time, though, there was this one young man, very impressive. He came up to me, at first at the food fair, and he said, "Wait, is that him?" I said, "Yes." I just watch on my TV. So
Oh, glad you mentioned that.
yeah, his name is. I tell him I'm big him up, so I'm sure he's listening, cause he you could tell, Jade, you could tell when somebody is like a real sipper. Like the man asking about Kevin. The man like,
oh, he's an original.
yeah, you could tell the real sippers. Like when they, like, and I keep asking. I said, bro, you don't go to school. But big up to Kevin Hanley. Very impressive young man. He presented himself well. And then I saw him again at the Herbert's Beach Affair. Down there giving me the salute. I was like, hey man, big up yourself. I mean, he does look like he might be. He can't be more than 11. Maybe I'll give it. I don't understand why he knows so much about the show.
I mean, he got YouTube, but he can watch it after school.
Yeah, that's probably all going on. But I was like, wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but big up to Kevin. Appreciate you big time, bro. JD was saying, yesterday reminded you of something for us before you get to the bad news.
So I had I ran into some sippers myself. One of them was like, and this was when I was entering into, I was going to Club Karma for Big People Party because they've started Chrissy's birthday.
Okay.
And the guy at the door, he was like, "You're Jade?" I was like, "It depends."
yeah, that's usually my answer too.
Yeah, because, He was like, "I just watch you all the time." I was like, "So I mean, I got it for free?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, man." Praise the Lord.
Perks.
Finally, this paying off.
Paying off for something, bye. Paying off for something.
If the government and all our politicians and big people who just take with ideas they want purse, the little man appreciates us.
The little man.
That's what we got depend on,
Yeah.
The little man.
Yeah, that's what matters, Jade.
Yes, and then I went to when I went.
He was
to
a guy, so he probably was a big man, but we know what you
mean. Yeah. Semantics, but so then Monday when I went to Nevis, I ran into one of my colleagues for CPL.
Right.
Because West Indies and
the cricket line on. Yeah.
Big up to West Indies for winning one of the games at least.
Yeah.
That was a good game to watch.
That was a good game. I mean, I tell a lie. Like they scared me for a minute.
Me too.
Like the first innings. The funny thing is, like, at this time, I'm like supposed to be in Nevis and all of this going on, and I'm like trying to keep up with what's happening with the cricket. And I'm like, what? Partners, what the partner name will just eat up all the wicket there by when him again? Maka?
Yeah, let me. Yeah. His last name is Makai. I don't know how to pronounce the first name. It's Obe or Obs or something like that.
Yeah, but so I walk out now. But yeah, this second innings, we're going in here, we're going to bat. We're going to knock up these ones in about 3 overs.
But I was watching man after man out. I said, cannot be serious.
I said, wait, we're going on here.
I was frightened, I was frightened for a bit.
Then yesterday now, I watching this thing, I was like, okay.
We ain't too bad.
Start off a little slow, but we need to make some runs. We need to put runs on the wickets ain't falling, but we need to put runs on the board. And I was like, this ain't, after a while I started yelling, like, this ain't a test match, guys. This ain't a test match.
Pick up the pace a little bit.
We need some boundaries, guys. And then they were able to defend it, yeah.
But yeah. Well, yeah, so congratulations to the West Indies for winning one of the games at least. So this is how I know the Caribbean is a very small place. One of the people I work with for Chatterbox, his name is Dario. He does marketing for the West Indies.
Oh, okay. Big up Dario.
Yeah. So while I was in Nevis, I ran into Alex Jordan, who is one of the commentators for the cricket match. She was on the show before.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it was nice to see her and stuff. She was with, Lord, I don't want to forget his name. Percival. The cricket, the golf man. What's his name?
Tiger Woods?
No. You told me after I was just about to say it.
Percy. Yours on a Percy kind of thing.
Yeah. His last name is Percival.
Okay.
But he's one of the big golfers here. And he also watches LNT.
Oh, big up.
Yes, and so he was with Darren Sammy and another gentleman. And it so happens that the other gentleman was Dario's father. And I didn't know.
Right.
But this is how he introduced himself to me. Well, no, he shook my hand and then I went about my business after, all the introductions and stuff. But we was leaving to go back to St. Kitts. They caught the same taxi as us. And then he was like, I'm going to tell Darren I finally meet you. He's from Antigua. Yes. So I was like, oh, you watched the show as well.
We actually, I learned this a few weeks ago, a few months ago actually, that we've managed to get some people in Antigua.
Yeah, Zeke, thank you.
Oh,
yes.
Zeke. Oh,
yes.
Yeah, and Zeke. Hey, big up Zeke one time. Hey, we need, Zeke is another one we need to.
Yes, we do.
We need a monument or something to Zeke too. Oh, speaking of
when he's alive too.
Yeah, speaking of monuments, quick tangent here. Did we miss the official launch of the opening or unveiling of the Christina Disaster Memorial? Oh, okay. Okay, ain't finish it. Because I come now, I was like, wait, I could see it now. It was,
They ain't finish it, man.
okay. It would have been good if they could have get finished for. Like,
Now next government will come in and say they do it.
Love
it.
Yes.
Love it.
But yes, I was saying that we've managed to get some sippers from Antigua from the link up. This one lady hit me up on Facebook and she's like, I heard you guys on the link up, and I've been watching y'all ever since.
Aww.
And so big up to all the Antigua fans and the St. Lucia people who listen to us too.
Listen, we have fans all over the Caribbean. I appreciate every one of y'all. I tell you, that just made me see and feel how small the Caribbean is.
And
even though the flights make it feel like it's not.
Make it feel like it's possible.
Yes.
But I think what it highlights for me is the fact that no matter which island you come from, we are kind of having similar experiences.
Mm-hmm.
We're having similar experiences.
It's
because
very
when
relatable.
when we talk about things, and we kind of, a lot of times we really do focus on our experience, of course, here in St. Kitts. People could relate no matter what island they come from.
That is true.
And and that resonates with people, and we appreciate the people who could take the time to come and hang out with us on the mornings.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the weekend.
Mm-hmm. You ready for the bad news now?
Oh boy.
The reason I want to talk about the bad news is because I have to cuss.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just say this too.
Go ahead.
I think we said it last year, but I'll say it again this year. We need to make a concerted effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
To highlight the reason for these 2 days we get off at the beginning of August.
You mean besides that holiday? That is a break from work?
People don't know. People don't know, and
don't care.
it really is. It really gonna get into me now. I mean, I had been asking people all week, and I made it a point to ask people if they know why today's a holiday. Most people told me, "Aim for Culturama."
No,
so
it's
people,
not.
so people thought that it was like, a lot of people think that.
And then them 2 days is for Culturama?
And then the people that knew, when I asked them how they knew, a lot of them actually knew because of notification from like Google on the phone or something.
Wow, that's interesting.
Or the other answer I got was, and I was quite pleased with this one, some of them said, well, the church does do something for emancipation.
Vibes.
Right? So, but there's way too much of us that don't know why we get these 2 days off in August, and I think that's a travesty. As people, black people, African descent in the diaspora, it's crazy that this isn't something that is celebrated, recognized, or we just have some sort of moment to reflect.
The Culturama thing is there to do.
But I'm saying all that could happen together. All that could happen together. We could have Culturama. It's the same thing. We don't have Christmas, but people don't think Carnival is the reason for the 24th. Where we don't go work on the 25th. You understand where I'm coming from? So,
but that's because Christmas is a gift-giving day, and a day to eat and drink.
So if that is what it is, then let's do the same thing for Emancipation Day then.
So turn it into a day where we gift and eat and drink.
We could gift. We could.
Well, they're already eating and drinking on Emancipation Day because
But
we need to celebrate it way more. We have to.
It is, and not only that, I think because of the Culturama thing or whatever, I don't know. But to me, people in other islands, are more. They're
more appreciative.
They just recognize what the day is a bit more, right? I suppose some people from other islands, Happy Emancipation Day, bam bam bam. People go to work.
I say not one Happy Emancipation Day post. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, and not only that, I see in some islands, the Friday they go to work in African wear and stuff like that. So the entire weekend, Dominica in particular, I know for sure. They yeah, but people have no idea.
Wait, is she trying to ask the way she was?
Yeah. The children for sure don't know, and I think part of it is because they're already on vacation.
Yeah.
So it isn't like,
They're like,
you get day off from school
Mommy,
and you know
what we're going on here?
yeah.
Daddy, no man, it's
Jade, you know how much people
You get
message me.
fired, dad?
You know how much people messaged me yesterday asking me why we ain't on the show? I say, but you ain't home.
So if you're home, we can't be
You
home.
ain't home. Like, we don't understand. But
crazy.
also a lot of people, well, bear in mind that the Tuesday isn't a holiday for a lot of the other islands.
Oh.
And some of the people who ask me why they're off island or from
Like,
different islands.
what's happening here?
But yeah.
Monday is understandable, but Monday and Tuesday, no, something wrong.
But
As
yeah,
long as
we,
people
we,
missed
got-
us,
we have to do better.
Yeah.
I think the government has to do better.
Whichever government we got after Friday.
Well, the next, we don't know
They
who's
will
going to be
do-
in
they-
next Emancipation Day. But whoever in next Emancipation Day, please
just do
make it a
better.
point. And my thing too is like, if there is all this happening in Nevis, and Emancipation Day, then for people who don't go, there should be things happening here for people who want to celebrate Emancipation Day.
Yeah, that is true.
And we need, I think we need to make it into something that we could build it into something big, like where people look forward to it, similar to. Don't get me wrong, Jade. But I was gonna say like independence, but the truth is, I think we really does undersell independence as well. Like
Yeah, no, that
we
yeah,
don't-
it's smaller,
we
man.
don't like independence. We don't.
Well, the last time, the last independence, the person in charge of putting the activities together tremendously fumbled.
Oh, boy.
Tremendously.
Oh boy.
Like, don't ever do that. Like, if the government that is in now
The
still
walking
is in
waste.
after,
It was the walking waste man.
you don't ever do that again. You don't bring that man back here to do nothing. So I wanted independence. Come embarrass the country. Like, what was that? Anyway,
Oh boy.
before I get off on that tangent.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately,
What's happening?
I have some very sad news, and it bothered me for several reasons. So, firstly, condolences to the family of Bria.
Oh boy.
Bria was a toddler that the nation had to come together to raise money for because her mom has been asking for help for years because she was I think she was 2 years she passed away, which was over the weekend.
Over the weekend, yeah.
And she was asking for help since Bria was a baby because, she was born with certain things that...
Certain ailments, yeah.
Yes. And it was just sad to see that finally, when she was able to raise all of this money, time ran out. But here's my 2 issues with this. Some of y'all, right? Nasty. And ain't nowhere y'all could feel that when y'all die, y'all going up to see Jesus because not with y'all behavior. Why was there people asking about the money?
What?
Why are y'all asking about...
You see why the stay for social media, Jane? You see why the stay for social media? You see?
Y'all really thought it best to help y'all. I'm trying to be as nice.
PG, keep it PG, Jade.
Because the things I actually want to say,
Keep it PG, Jade.
they might not...
Matter of fact, keep it PG.
Yeah, because they might cancel LNT after this. So let me not do that. But the people that I saw literally asking up... Yeah, I was dragged up now.
Definitely
Yeah, I
not
was
brought
raised.
Up, yeah, definitely not brought up anything.
Can't be.
Haul up.
Y'all ain't on the quorum and nothing. Y'all just really saw someone lose their toddler, their child. And the first thought that come to mind is not, I hope she's doing okay.
One to the $10 what I would donate. One to the $10. That's really why it is, Jade.
If she give up the money, no, she's not. And who going to make her? Who is going to be the big bad wolf and come out and say they want back the money? Let me see.
But Jade, let me ask you a question. They think the debt that his family incurred just gone somewhere now?
Apparently.
They think he just gone? Like they think the debt
Y'all
just...
know she has to bury her child now? Y'all know how much trauma...
Wickedness. It's wicked people in Jade.
Bruh.
We can't name them and shame them. We can't get a list.
I wish somebody would give me a list.
Somebody need to get a list. Let me come on the radio and read out all them comments there.
Because all I had to say is allegedly, and now I can't touch me, So what we going to do now?
No, Jade. You don't have to say allegedly when we have the screenshots of the post.
Y'all...
And the comments.
Y'all just told me some y'all sickening. Anybody outside asking about a $10, $5 donation, First of all, I mean, you ain't donate this money from the kindness of your heart.
Jade,
You wanted
Wheaty just made the comment I was about to say. Wheaty just made the comment I was about to say. I am actually very certain, and I agree with Wheaty, a lot of the people asking, ain't none. And you know I know that? Because the people who took it upon themselves to go into the pocket to donate to the cause, I want to believe most of those people are empathetic. The people ask those questions, and so I believe there's a disconnect there. I don't believe these people asking them questions donate anything.
It's crazy because these same people forgetting in a blink of an eye that could be in the same situation. You could be the person on social media trying to crowdfund for an ailment for a family member or for yourself. And you think we're going to just be like, yeah, man, let's give you our money now. How? You have no sympathy for a family that lost a child, but we're supposed to have sympathy for you? Make it make sense.
Jade, and I've said this before here, Jade, and we've had this conversation in private, Jade. This is why I try to, as much as possible, operate in empathy, You avoid looking so stupid, yeah.
Easy to avoid, as if it is so easy to avoid. Look,
we need to
avoid all of this.
We need to as human beings employ more empathy when we're dealing with situations with people, just as we move and live through life. I believe that is one of the reasons why we just see so much nonsensical behavior.
Yeah, it has to be.
People do not employ empathy. People are just so self-absorbed and self-contained and self-serving.
It is insane because
they just lack the ability to put themselves in any other position other than a position where they are the center of the entire universe.
Even if this is your first start, why would you type it out and hit send? We're tired talks, why, We're tired tell you stop put everything in your heads on social media.
Spend more time living your content than posting it here. Because you could have just had this start and move on with your life.
Why all of us have to say that you're an idiot?
Sometimes I always wonder why people of all the places on the human anatomy, why did they choose that particular place to be,
An idiot?
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh boy. I don't know. I've never woken up and decided, you know what, today I'm going to just be an idiot. Let me show the whole world how ridiculously stupid I am.
Is a societal lack of empathy that we experience in Jade.
I'm serious,
People are just so much about self that they lack any sort of tact, empathy, anything. It just nothing. It's sad. I had no idea this was happening. And
I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
But it's been bothering me since I find out.
I tell her we need to get back into this exile thing,
Yeah, man.
Them countries
more and more I seen where you come up with this idea,
No, I just saying bring it back. I didn't even come up with it.
No, I mean, well, yeah.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring back the exile.
More and more understanding your stance on this because
every 6 months they put out the list of people that we look into exile. We do a vote on my cell phones and then
I agree.
The country, since we like elections so much.
But that ain't gonna help us because they could be out the country and still be idiotic.
Yeah, but at least
we see it all the time on social media.
At least we don't have to claim them after a while. We just stop claiming them.
Some of the people y'all just be following on social media, running behind and praising and stuff, it's because they were idiotic, Y'all don't follow substance. I convinced a lot of them don't follow substance, Y'all rather follow people who have no upstairs. Elevator just stop on the bottom floor. And this is who y'all running behind and... Anyway, I have at least an update for you, Azim. Because I know this one you was waiting on.
There's an update?
And it comes from the Royal St. Christopher Police Force.
What?
Yes.
Give me an update, Jade.
So remember that stabbing that happened some weeks back at an event in Cayon?
You mean the one that was on camera and they were investigating and had no one in custody? They only had someone under suspicion?
Yes.
Okay.
So he was charged for murder this weekend.
Watch you. If I believe they in a God, I believe if you somehow believe there wasn't there wasn't a God, the police, the Royal St. Christopher Police Force is here to let you know there is.
But there's seldom of any time that we come on here and praise the police force
Well, police,
for anything at all.
I'll be better late than never.
You know.
That's my thing. Better late than never.
Just
you understand?
give them the kudos by.
And I'm hoping that the fact that we see someone now being charged with the murder of this young man, because that's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
After all this time, then that signals to me that the investigation that they would have done, they have now been able to put a case together that is airtight, and so that the family of this young man can get some justice.
I want to believe so. So it says the police have formally charged 21-year-old.
No vex now. No vex now.
20.
No
20
vex.
what did I?
I vex now, Jade.
So you're right off your entire life? Just so?
What are we doing, Jade? What are we doing? Finish the thing, because I'm going to...
Yes, so 21-year-old Eason, I'm sorry, I'm butchering this young man's name, but you know. Eason Gayton of Upper Market Street for the murder of Junior Mervyn Stevens of Bramble Crescent, Tabernacle. I'm pretty sure this person is related to me, I'm not going to lie. The offense was committed on July 10, 2022 in Cayon. He was charged on July 31st, 2022 and remanded at Her Majesty's Prison. You're Panama, you're right, but you're comfortable, man. Get very, I mean, as comfortable as you could get over in HMP, because I hear over there really built for comfort. But, you know.
The thing for me to be like...
Consequences of your own actions.
This obviously was a young man, Jade, but when you hear 21, Jade...
Yeah, 21 is very surprising, I'm not going to lie.
21, Jade, like, because for me, this is what people don't understand, you know. When you lock up somebody, right, you don't just lock up the person, you know. You got family. It could be spouses, it could be children, mothers, fathers, uncles, aunts, all them they get locked up to, you know. Don't fool yourself. You understand? Don't fool yourself. This. The thing is, right, when you start seeing these, for me, when I see these young men end up in these situations, either unfortunately maimed, loss of life, jail, it's just like this whole bundle of potential just gone to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Just gone to waste.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Gone to waste.
That's what
And when
happened.
you stop and you think about the situations and the unnecessary nature of the situation.
Yeah. This wasn't a life or death situation, you know?
It's just the end.
But
It's
it
just
caused death. This wasn't like something happened and you have to, like this is warrant. Anyway.
just a series of bad decisions.
Obviously.
What would you be in the party in the fete with a knife?
Like, what?
Or whatever implement. I don't know if it's a knife or ice pick. I don't know what it is.
Whatever it is, why would you walk to a party where people are enjoying or supposed to be enjoying the festivities that they paid for?
And I keep saying, Jade, if me and you going somewhere and you tell me, hold up there, bye. I forget my knife. No. I think you need to stay home. If you feel the need to walk out the house with a knife, perhaps it's best to stay in the home.
Yeah.
With
if
the knives.
any of my friends ever turn to me and say, yeah, I'm going to grab my knife. Okay, well, have fun. Are you going back in here? Because whoever you need a knife for,
You don't want to be a part of it.
me try to be an accomplice to nothing that will land me in HMP.
And not only that, I can probably suggest that you probably need to stay inside.
Yeah, you need to stay inside more than me.
The funny thing with the weapons, right, Jade, is that when you have them, no, you put yourself in a situation to use them. If you don't have them, you can't use them. Yeah?
That is a fact.
You can't use them.
Hmm?
But 21, Jade is a young man. That's a baby.
A little baby. You know how
It's a baby.
your brain is fully developed at 21.
Your frontal lobe is not developed. Hey, you got a shoulder watch. And the man just keep saying that on the show. Yeah. When they're talking about things happen to fellas, you keep asking them, how old were you?
Mm.
Your frontal lobe wasn't developed yet.
The amount of stupid decisions I made at 21, right?
And let me tell you
I never
something.
stab nobody, no. Me gonna lie to you.
And let me tell you something, Jade. And this is something that I've been recognized. Watch you. Girls got us by points, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Girls got us by points, man.
Yeah, me I lie to you.
I just watch some young boys and watch some young girls, and I be like, by sorry for a young man, yeah. Cause these young girls, you're on it. Young, watch you. When boys young, my boys move by there. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. But I would have had a classmate that would have ended up in a very...
Sorry, tell your story. I just want
You know,
to set up for our next guest. Because I hear talking.
I would have ended up in a... He would have ended up, in a very unfortunate situation where coming out of an argument, something that was not even remotely important or related in any way to their lives, one of my classmates would have taken the life of another one. Now, bear in mind, at this point, I think we might have been in first or second farm, eh? We're in first or second farm.
Wow, that's insane.
And ever since that situation, every now and again it comes to the forefront of my mind, and I keep thinking like, how things like this to happen? I'm not. Allegedly, the argument was over who is the best rapper, right? Who is the best rapper, Jade? And here out of the argument,
joking,
no, Jade, I'm not even joking.
I hope so.
And coming out of the argument, a young man lost his life. It's ridiculous.
Ain't no way you just told me they was arguing over rappers.
I think one of them said the MX is a homosexual, and the other one took offense or something. That was the story.
So you kill him? Man.
No, I don't know what the intention was. Jade, but what I'm saying,
wasn't his intention to kill him.
but bear in mind, these are young men on the age of 15. So you have to understand, it's not just the guy that would have lost his life, right? But the young man now who's now in prison, dealing with the consequences of that decision it's sad, Jade. So you're looking at this now, and of course we all were there. Like, there needs to be somebody charged. Like, how is it that nobody's charged? We see it on video. Like, there's video of the incident. Like, why is nobody in? And then you get the word, okay, they finally charge somebody. Is a 21-year-old young man. It's like, what going on in the world, man? What going on in the world, Jade?
As I might have a son and I just prefer him every day, yeah, because I don't want nobody to come call me and tell me my son went to an event and now he'll lose his life because somebody stabbed him over whatever reason. I can't.
Jay, there was no reason that could justify it. No.
None at all.
The thing for me is that I keep saying, we keep seeing these things happening, and we need to what I feel happens is that we do one of two things, right? We either attribute some characteristic to the individual that allows us to step away from the situation and have no responsibility in it. So it's like, he always in some kind of trouble. He always this, he always that. Oh, we just blame it. In other words, society as a whole, we distance ourselves from the situation. We go, you see, I don't know, it's them. Your mother does work, she job, whatever. I don't know, he not the father. No, at some point we gotta recognize, like, yo, look, our young men have issues dealing with anger. We have issues dealing with emotions. Critical thinking is lacking. All of these. Like, if we see it happening over and over and over again, then what is the response?
Ain't us, is them. Let her deal with it.
I then tell you, I got a copy of meditations on my dressing table waiting for my son to just start to read here.
You need to start.
As soon as he could spell C-A-T, spell cat, I read that here.
You don't know the right path. You're right, because you have to teach these young men better, because they would have behaving.
But seriously though, on a serious note, like, when we start talking about education, we have to give people emotional intelligence as well. It can't just be academic. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
people. I talk big people.
No, it's
Big people. Big people have no idea how to manage their emotions. None. They never even recognize that there's something. There's something there.
That the behavior ain't normal.
Young men running around, no idea what stoicism is. No idea.
None.
No, that's lost.
May want to cross the path. I just hope to keep out there. But
Anyway, ignorance in style as well. Ignorance like in style right now.
It's election time, though. So anyway. But speaking of election, when we come back, we'll be speaking to one of the candidates for the People's Action Movement, Mr. Troy Flanders. So stick and stay. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back, right here on Island Tea.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Drop everything and come now to Horseman's Auto Parts and Accessory Center for their Big Drop Everything sales event. Yes, drop everything and go now to the Horseman's Auto Accessories and Parts Center, where they will be dropping 25% off batteries. Buy 3 tires at regular price and get 1 free, and much more discount store-wide on selected items. Drop everything and go now to Horseman's Auto Accessories and Parts Center, the Federation's favorite auto parts and accessories store. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Win Media SKN. And of course, is any kind here? I wonder if it's the wait, let's see. How about now? Good to go? Nice. Yeah, but guys, you just heard me actually talking to our guest who is live in studio with us this morning. As Jade said before we went to the break, we're actually being joined by the man himself, the constituency 6 candidate for the People's Action Movement, Mr. Troy Flanders is here with us. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning to you and your radio listeners. I'm doing pretty okay, I'm all right.
All right, well, glad to hear that.
You seem pretty chill for a man who has election in 2 days.
Elections, I relish that challenge. The election challenge, I relish that.
Well, I mean, a lot of people would say that it is definitely a challenge based on, going up against the constituency rep for so long there in constituency number 6. How do you feel about the campaign so far? Okay,
first let me say good morning to all the good people in constituency number 6. The period that he did actually made my job easier. 33 years of a single representative, it actually made my case easier because then I could show the neglect for the 33 years. So it actually made my job easier. So it's not all that challenging, to be honest with you.
Well, since you mentioned neglect, you could tell us some of the things that you've been hearing on the streets while canvassing and speaking to people in that constituency?
Yeah, constituency 6, as you know, have been at the back of the bus. That's how I would put it. People tends to overlook constituency 6. It doesn't matter which administration is in power. You find that the current administration, which is used to be Unity, they come 2020, they promised the people a lot of stuff. I was part of that, and I end up had to apologize to the people because I realized that most of the things that we say we were going to do didn't happen. And here I got to come back to the same people to tell them the same thing over. And then you find the previous administration, they has, because they get like a good percentage of the votes in that constituency, they pay them no mind. You find in constituency number 6, we have is 5 villages that make up constituency number 6. We have 1 social center, which we call community center, and that is based in St. Paul's. You go to Newton Ground, you hear they asking for that. In Newton Ground, they also talk about the playing facility, which their playing facility, the play field, was built under the People's Action Movement administration. And just as the People's Action Movement built that playing facility, so it stands today. And then you go over to the Far East End in Harris's. The main road in Harris's is in a terrible state.
For some time.
You cannot actually drive on that road without go look for the spare parts, man. You know? And then you come closer to Sadler's. We have a playing facility in Sadler's that was built by the Labour administration in 1998. And just where the shovels them stay, and that day is just the 80s. They need proper lighting, proper fencing. He ain't fence at all.
Not fence at all, yeah.
Yeah, he ain't fence at all. So, and Sadlers have a premier team. And yet they don't have proper lighting to practice. But yet the guys still doing well, you know. Yeah, and you find you go down to Parsons, which is a very small village, but have a large population of youth. And the Parsons playing facilities, they are even worse shaped than any other area in St. Kitts. You go to Dateby, it's the same thing. And Dateby have a basketball court, netball court. They used to use Kansas Pasha as the main football and cricket. But if you look at Kansas Pasha has been can use for maybe about 10 or 20, about 15 years now. They're not using that. So with a single representative for 33 years, he knows all of these things. When he was the prime minister, he know about that. He knows. You got to pass on with the community center, which actually is in a state of disrepair. And you look at it, it closed down. And as we are in the community centers, so we just don't want to build community centers, you know. We want to utilize them. Not just build community centers to say, we're going to build community centers. It can't make no sense to build them and get them closed. Yeah. So you find Sadlers passing on every single village. They are neglected. Dateby, one of the premier fishing area, fishing village in St. Kitts. Yet, they talk about the fishing complex. They have a fishing camp. They had their own building. But the building there right now, they can't use the building because the building get damaged with one hurricane and in a state of disrepair also. But I have plans for that area. I would like to see Dateby to be the engine of growth in constituency number 6, where a lot of economic activity take place. That same area in Dateby, I would like to see, they have the reef and everything. I think a harbor could fit in there. And I would like to see from Dateby, we have fresh produce leaving Dateby port, going to the nearby islands. That's something I would like to see happen from Dateby, you know? And you look at the state of the Golden Lemon Hotel.
I didn't even remember that exists though.
Well, you do.
It is there, and it's somewhere where monkey live.
Is it owned by? Is it privately owned? Like what's? Because I keep wondering what's the issue with that.
I don't know who the owners are, but it's something that government could acquire, right? But that same facility there, I would like to see that young people that used to train young people in the hotel business. They're already there. I want to see activities in the countryside. That's my main aim. You know?
Well, I think that has been one of the issues with a lot of those communities in the Capistier area in general. You know, the fact that they are so far away from the traditional commercial center that sometimes commercial activity just does not happen there. And your ideas seem to center around bringing back, let's not even bringing back, but really boosting commercial activity in those areas. You mentioned fishing, you mentioned ports, but realistically, what do you think? What other types of activity do you believe that area would do well with seeing come there and taking place?
You know, Constituency 6 is part of the Rain Belt, and you have a lot of lands that are up there, farmlands. So between Constituency 6 and 7, those are the best area to farm. So I would like to see the farming activity in Constituency 6 boosted, you know. I want to see the farmers in that area apply the trade properly. This movement that I'm a part of, we have plans for them. We want to be able to have training, regular training with the farmers, teach them how to manage the lands properly. We want to actually do zoning in planting. We want to be able to plant large acreage of a single crop. That we seriously about food safety and food security. I mean, if you look at what's going around in the outer world, if the boat them ain't come here saying we have a serious case, shortage of everything. And that is something that we have to be mindful about that. We have the soil. We have people who are capable, you know, of producing. All they need is a partner in the government, you know. Current situation as is, the government is actually working against the farmers. The farmers are facing a lot of challenges with the current Ministry of Agriculture. Facing a lot of challenges. If you go up the Agriculture Department, you will see everybody up there with a sour face. You will ask them why they are not motivated. They're depressed, they don't, because the Ministry of Agriculture actually working against them. Yeah.
So, well, I mean...
I honestly could say that I've seen a lot of farmers actually complain about the lack of help and the things that they actually been needed, especially, what's that? I think it's a water system. They were giving out some water.
Some water tanks.
Yeah, some tanks. And I saw a lot of the farmers saying that they're not receiving them, or the people who've been there trying to get them for years upon years were overlooked. So,
well, we had a meeting. A group of farmers and myself had a meeting with the PS, and we asked what are the criteria for assistance. But he said, as long as you're a registered farmer, you'll be able to get assistance. But I know most of the most productive farmers are not receiving assistance. And those are the guys we will be calling upon to do the bulk of the work for food safety and security. They are productive farmers. But yet, because for some reason they are not singing the same tune as the ministry or the PS or them, they are not singing the same tune, they have been victimized. if I could use that word. You look at a situation in the mansion area where they have a mansion corp, and right now, them unsustainable are at odds for land, you know? And that's a group that we could actually call upon and say, mansion group, I want you to provide all the carrots for St. Kitts. They have the capacity to do it. But yet they're having so much challenges, you know? You talk about land preparation and all these things. I myself get into the land preparation because of the cry of the farmers. I went out and put myself in expense and get a tractor with the harrow and anything to help out the situation. But also, as a private man, I find myself also getting victimized from the same ministry of agriculture. It's just lip service. We see what the current administration is doing about farming. And we know that the previous administration, they had at least 10 years after they closed the sugar industry to get it right, but they did not. So sometimes when you hear people talk, you got to look at the record and let the record speak for them. You know, 10 years they had from 2005 to 2015 to get it right in agriculture. Right now, we could have been one of the major producers in the Caribbean. We have the land to do that. We could have been able to do that. But no proper land use policies. You find that the previous administration put down concrete and some of the best farmlands. You put down houses on some of the best farmlands. So how are you serious? The question, are you serious about feeding yourself?
Yeah, I mean, the issue of food security has been something that has been talked about. And I don't know if it's just a matter that I am not directly in agriculture, why I miss some of the things that may be put in place towards it, or is it really just a matter that they haven't happened? And so, at the end of the day, we're at a place where we are not food secure, and we know there's stuff that we need to do in order to get there. So hopefully, you know, that is something that we see happening sooner rather than it's too late. I can't even say later, because I think we done passed late a long time,
man.
right? But in terms of your candidacy, based on what you're saying, you have been involved in politics, but not as a candidate. You mentioned in the previous election, you would have been one of the persons who would have
I went around and canvassed people.
And canvas and things and so what has inspired the evolution from being a supporter to now being an actual candidate in your community?
Well, first, I'm a PAM supporter from as long as I know myself. Right? It comes from generation. Right? And the fact that I'm going around and speak to people and I hear their cries, and election after election, their cries remain the same. So I said to myself, sometime if you want something to do, you got to take it away and do it yourself. That's why I get involved in this thing. All that I'm doing from my heart because of the love I have for people. You know, so I tell myself, no man, the constituency 6. I had the opportunity to leave constituency 6 and go live in Bastia, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, then I toned it down. I decided I'm staying in the country where I actually enjoy the breeze over there and the less noise. Yes, so I decided to stay over there because they are my people. I could go between Saddlers to Newton Ground, and I don't know, it's just like I'm home. Anyone in the village, I'm at home.
Right.
Yes, so when I listen, you know, one young lady said to me in the campaign, she said, "Try, please tell of my story." I said, "I don't want to." She said, please. When she tell me that she's a civil servant at the end of the ladder, the lowest and the pay scale, and she been there for must be about 14 or 15 years, you know, and she cannot get appointed, so therefore she money can't move. She tell me she have 4 kids. The father play a little role or none in their life. You know, you're working for minimum wage with 4 kids. You know how hard that will be and that single mother? She said, please, I tell her I don't want to. She said, try. I beg you, go and tell of my story. Because when I finished talking to that lady, I come across another one in my constituency. She said, same thing, years in the civil servant, but yet they can't get appointed. And it happened a lot to the people in constituency number 6. Because what happened, some of them get jobs because it was election time. And so while they get a job, they just throw them in. Election after election, they're still there. But yet nobody going to look about how these people will be able to lift themselves.
No upward mobility.
No, nothing at all. And it pained me when I hear that young lady actually break down while speaking to me. She break down. She says, sometimes try to do things that I'm not pleased of to make ends meet. I want you to tell me story. And stories like those is what kept me going. You know, when you do go on the campaign, sometimes when I get up and I lacing up my shoes to go out, I got to brace myself because I know there are serious hurting out there. People have serious issues. I know of it. So I go out there and I listen to them. You know, I got to take out the thing that say politician. I'm not a politician, I just tell people I'm a representative. So when I hear some people with these, I could never watch them and say, please give me a vote. I just listen to them and be a human being without even asking them for a vote. Because I can't bring myself to hear these kind of pain. And I think the pain that they had come from politicians. Because they're taking the people for granted. You know, especially in my constituency. Those people over there, they support the Labour Party as if it's a religion. And the Labour Party has taken them for granted. They have.
So how do we move away from this culture of see me when election time come, see me when next election coming?
I think you have a lot to do with the voters, eh? Because I just tell people, once you want something, you have to agitate for it. If you give somebody your vote and they're in a position to help you, you must remember that you're not the only person who vote for them, and you're not the only person who knows they'll be hearing. So you've got to agitate and keep calling them and push for it. And by doing that, you'll keep them going. They have no time to relax. So this once in a 5 years thing is not good enough. You get that, oh, when I see you next election, I'm going to see you again, ain't it, Mr. Flanders? I said, no, I live amongst you all. You see me every day driving through and through the community. So you could stop me, you could approach me anytime. Because I believe that between the election span, there are a lot of things that can happen in somebody's life. So I think that as a representative, you need to be more out there. Weekly or monthly, just be out there. Let people see you. Let people talk to you. And sometimes people just want you to say, hello, Mary, how you doing? And they feel good, uplifted there. You know? Yeah.
I think it's interesting how every constituency, you could even go down to a village level, has its own unique identity. And I think that sometimes this identity includes things that should be applauded, and also it might include things that need to be worked on. All right? In constituency 6, what are some of the long-standing, whether it's stereotypes or just cultural characteristics that you believe need to improve, change, or be done away with? The reason I'm saying this is a lot of times when we talk to politicians about the things that they intend to do, it involves a lot. It involves paying attention to the infrastructural needs of the community. It involves things like getting jobs, and a lot of times, sometimes it feels like these things are generic. You come on and you say, "Oh, the people that need housing, they need jobs, they need whatever," and sometimes I feel like there's a neglect to the actual human beings. And the fact that I'm bringing this up is based on the fact that you just mentioned the conversations that you're having, and just recognizing that you're talking to people. Yeah. So, as I said again, I asked, what are some of those characteristics that exist within the community that you believe need to be that need to evolve?
You know, first, in constituency 6, we need to change the way we're voting. From the time we change the way we're voting, people will take us seriously. If one party will receive 80% of the votes, nobody will take you seriously. Not even the party that you voted for. We need to change the way you vote, make who you vote for, that they feel accountable for your vote, not take your vote for granted. And by doing that, you will see that constituency 6 will leapfrog the rest constituencies. Constituency 6, there was said that in 1995, was said that is one of the poorest constituency. In 2022, you could still say the same thing. You understand? So we need to change the way that we vote. If we do that, people are going to say, "Bye, at least the people in number 6 want something more than Labour." And that's the thing that's just get me kind of upset. Because when I walk and somebody say, "Oh, where you from?" I say, "I'm from Saddlers." "Oh, no," I say, "I'm from constituency 6. "Oh, you're from St. Paul's." You know, St. Paul's is a part of constituency number 6. Right? And for me to just say, "Oh, you're from St. Paul's," they drop you see the face expression, they drop their head. Like, okay, I studied IU. Some people say, "I'm from the back island, so we not study IU." Yeah, they do not take us seriously. And we have a lot of brilliant people out there. We have a lot of good farmers out there, a lot of good fishers out there, fishermen. We produce doctors and lawyers. We actually produce pilots. You know? We are no different from no other constituency, but the way we vote. That's why some people say, "Try, you got a serious challenge on your hand." I say, no. That's something I relish, because I am out there to agitate on behalf of the people of number 6. That's what I'm doing. Some people say, "Well, I'm going to vote for you because I see you're a genuine person, you're serious." I say, "Thank you for your support. But this is not the end of it. Your vote is not the end of it, because I'm going to be there to make sure that we get our fair share."
Well, you mentioned that you've been a part of the political arena for a while, not so much as a politician, but as somebody in the community, and you've been seeing these things that needed to be changed. Someone might say, well, previously, or the government that is currently in had 7 years to fix some of these issues, and they weren't done. How can you assure the people that once you are elected, or if you are elected, you can bring about these changes that were promised?
First, you got to look at the legacy of the organization that you are part of, right? And the People's Action Movement have a legacy of delivering. Some people say in Constituency 6, the People's Action Movement delivered 3 schools in Constituency 6. when the People's Action Movement was talking about diversifying the economy with agriculture, the People's Action Movement went on to pave the roads in Fars, that's in Newton Ground, from the main road up into the mountain. They went over to Harris's, they do the same thing, and in Sadlers, and that's in constituency number 6. So you see that they were serious about agriculture. Not only that, when they paved the roads, they put in place the duty-free concession and vehicle so that you, as a farmer, could come off the donkey and buy a vehicle. They actually put money in the development bank to facilitate the purchase of those vehicles. So when you look at it, you got to look at where the party stands, and the performance of the party, and where they're going. Because you look at it, there was farmers in constituency number 6 who benefited a lot from the Taiwanese when they come in here under the People's Action Movement. They did benefit a lot. There was farmers who were able to build their houses out of their pocket, they go to no bank under the People's Action Movement. So you got to look at the legacy of the party that you're a part of.
Well, I think a lot of times people look at the parties and a lot of times they say, we're none better than none. And I think the point that you're making is that from your experience and perspective, the People's Action Movement has a legacy that proves that it is capable of doing different to what the people have come to expect. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, and you know, most people, especially the younger ones, who didn't experience the People's Action Movement at the head of government, they feel like that this current situation is the way life's supposed to be. But the People's Action Movement has been a very progressive, the People's Action Movement administration has been a very progressive administration. Very, very progressive. There were people out there who were making a lot of money just by doing work, hard work, making money by that. Very progressive. And not only that, the People's Action Movement, though they were economically progressive, physically they were conservative. Because when you look at all the programs and the policies and everything that they put in place, when they leave office, we had a low national debt. So they were physically conservative and also economically progressive. When you compare that now to the Labour administration, you will look at where we reached rock bottom. We were actually bankrupt under Labour administration. That is why we had to go to the IMF. And the social problems that we face today in St. Kitts, it come under the 20 years Labour administration. Most of these social problems that we are facing, if not all, started happening under the Labour administration. The young people feel as if the way things is the only way out. But no, it's not the only way. It is not the only way. People have to learn to be progressive. Teach people to be progressive. You want something, work towards it. That is what, you know, when you listen to some people talking on the political campaign, and they boasting about pop and step and peace. Neither pop, step, nor peace could grow the economy. So if you look at 5 years from now, where will we be on pop, pep, and peace? What state the economy will be in? We got to take these things seriously, you know. These hard-working people like myself will have to pay the extra tax when we are called upon. Pop, step, and peace cannot grow the economy.
Yeah.
So do you have any alternative plans for these programs since they aren't able to grow the economy in the way that you think that they should? What is the alternative for the people on these programs?
PAP and them in peace. Some who say this step to them are social programs, and there are people who will fit into that program, right? But you need to find jobs for people, and people have to want to work. You got to put in their head that you have to work for what you want. You don't sit down and wait for somebody to give you a handout. You got to put yourself in a position to work for what you want. That is the reason why I am a licensed building contractor. And skill training is something that I take dear to my heart. Because if you look around St. Kitts, we are lack of skill, man, in St. Kitts. We are lack of skill, man. I would like to see more carpenters, more mason, more electrician, more mechanic. I would like to see people work by their hand. Because there are serious money out there you could make from skill. For instance, you take somebody, a young man, he will be working for minimum wage. If he gets a skill, just one day, a skilled man will go home with like the lowest end is $150. The upper end is $225. Compare that to $340. You know what a big difference that could make in your life? You know? So that's the mindset we have to get into the younger people's mind, that there are money there to be made. The money in skills. There are money in skills. We have the Dream Fund, which is the People's Action Movement, and the CCM, the Concerned Citizens Movement, as we call ourselves, the One Movement. The Dream Fund, which we're promoting, that will provide finance for people who really want to go into business and people who have their business and want to expand. We also talk about, when it comes to farming, we will got money for people to get into machinery, because in modern farming, you got to use machinery. Long gone the days of manual labor. In farming, if you want to be productive, we got to go into machinery. You look at the jobs now that the movement is promoting, jobs now. You're talking about jobs. That's what people want to uplift themselves. You got to get jobs. People got to be working.
But I mean, you spoke about having people develop skills training. You spoke about the Dream Fund. I think those things kind of go in hand in terms of really helping to foster entrepreneurs, people who are into business and stuff like that. It does seem though that in your particular constituency, there is it might be a mindset, it might just be cultural, or it might just be from me looking out from the outside, who feels as though there seems to be a limited type of entrepreneurial endeavor that is associated with the people from that particular constituency, as important as it is, agriculture. Do you see your constituency being a place where you could expand opportunities for persons in different fields, even outside of agriculture, even though the area, of course, is well suited to that? Do you believe that is something that should happen and can happen?
Yeah. I was told on the campaign trail that somebody said, I would like to do a mall over in the countryside. I said, wow, that's good. Somebody just tell me that they want to see a laundry in that area. I said, that's good. So the
mindset is already there. People are already thinking about these types of things.
Surprisingly, that most of the younger person that I come into contact with, they were thinking about that. Different type of businesses. Even in agriculture, there are businesses that people thinking about in agriculture that not there right now. Like, in agriculture, you could get jobs in driving, jobs in research. There are jobs, opportunity there in agriculture for research, marketing. There are a lot of jobs you could get out of that. If we're talking about start to ship things overseas, you got to have a packing house.
Yeah, things have to be packaged properly.
Right, and so packaging. There are a lot of jobs that could create. People going to have to be in the fields, working in the field. People going to be sorting out things. And so you're going to got equipment drivers and operators. And so yeah, there are a lot of jobs opportunity in agriculture that are not exist right now. They are.
But let me ask about that, because that has been something that we've discussed here on the show, and you may be somebody who may have some insight. Why is it that it seems as though when we talk about agriculture, we tend to focus mainly on the production of the crop itself,
yeah.
or instead of perhaps taking it secondary, doing some manufacturing, agro processing, that type of thing. Yeah. Is it just that we're not forward thinking? Is it there's something that needs to be instituted to kind of put these things in place? I always wonder. We produce tomatoes, we don't produce ketchup. We produce bananas, but we don't produce any secondary products. And so why is that, and what would be needed to accomplish that?
I think one thing is education. If we start the agricultural education in the primary school, come up, you'll find that people have time to do research and find ways to, let's say, add byproduct to the agricultural thing. That's we talk about the agri-processing. And so I was going to think, and I tell somebody, look around, how many nurseries you see around? Look around you, how many nurseries you see? They say none. I say, you see right there, get your idea? You understand?
Right.
I say, agriculture, you need boxes to put tomatoes in. What you going to do? Go wait for the garbage heap when you try to man and throw away something in your box? You understand? So these are opportunities. Somebody could say, you know what, I'm going to take it upon myself. And I'm going to bring in boxes. I will bring in 20 type tomatoes. Those are job opportunities, business opportunities. They are there. So I think education is one thing. We got to educate people. That's why you're talking about seminars and so, who bring people up to speed with what's going on around agriculture. Show them. Most of us probably, we know, who into farming will know what to do. But who look at farming as just this dirty hard work. They understand you could dress in your suit and tie and be a farmer. You could. God, there's so much different things you could do in farming.
Right.
You don't have to be the one that putting the thing in the ground. And when we're talking about farming, we're not only talking about using the soil. We're talking about hydroponics and these things too. When I look at it, just think about it. We have the coastal area down my side, and there are a lot of shallow areas. Why can't we, have a shrimp farm? Why can't we actually do a sea bass farm? There are a lot of shallow area there. What is stopping us? What is stopping somebody from coming up with that idea?
Well, maybe that's the question we need to ask, and so we come up with a solution to whatever those questions result in. Because just like you, I believe that a lot of times people may have these ideas and opportunity, but maybe not know how to go about bringing it to fruition, right? Or perhaps even if they go about it, sometimes the opportunities that exist to make these things a reality in itself make it even difficult. When you have to go to the bank for a loan for some of these things, and you understand that, well, this business ain't going to make money for the next 5-10 years, and the bank looking for you to start paying back the day after. The day after.
Before you make a cent, boy.
Yeah, so it becomes a lot, difficult as to how do we finance some of these things. So maybe financing may be one of the things stopping it.
So that's where we talk about the Dream Fund. They pay more attention to the Dream Fund. Most of these things take political will,
Yeah, exactly.
It is political will. And The People's Action Movement is the party that bring about the development bank. The FND started under the People's Action Movement. And you know what the FND was for, right? That was to help people with small business. The development bank was created to help people with small business. I'm telling you that the interest at the development bank wasn't always 11%, you know. And people went there and get money to fix up their house and to buy vehicle for thing at small, low rate, low interest rate. That is how you help small people. It is all about political will. That's all it takes. And I think the People's Action Movement, that's why I'm so happy to be a part of it. They not only talk, they do deliver. And I think it's far too long that St. Kitts and Nevis don't have the People's Action Movement at the helm. It's too long. We are going down a road of depression. If you look at most of the people faced in St. Kitts and Nevis, they seem to be depressed because they feel like it is the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to just sit back and wait for some social program to come and help us.
Right. I think, I was having this conversation with somebody just on the weekend about the fact that I think, unfortunately, politicians and politics have created this culture of dependence. Mm-hmm. Right? This culture of dependence. The problem when you create a culture of dependence is that it don't stay there, it evolves, and we become an entitled people. It fosters a culture of entitlement. And I think we are seeing that now. When I talk to a lot of persons, especially young persons, who it's almost as if they have their vote up for action. Who can give me this and who can give me that, and then we make a decision based on the highest bidder.
I also think a lot of the reasons for that is because there isn't any places for these people to get any help. Like a lot of people, they did the bank option, they tried getting grants, they tried getting loans, and those things weren't available to them. So these programs help to alleviate some of the strains of not being able to, one, get a job, two, start your own business, or three, just survive day to day because the lack of money that they're receiving from anywhere. It is very difficult. Yes, it is all well and good to tell people, to survive on your own and do it for yourself, but doing it for yourself takes money and takes help. And all of us weren't born with parents who can assist us. All of us weren't born with places and jobs there for us. We try to make our own way, but the doors keep being closed on our faces. So, yes, that's why they turn to the social safety nets. And that is a problem that we have to tackle before we can tell people, you have to do it yourself or you have to go out and make it on your own. We have to put things in place for them to be able to do that.
Yeah.
27 years ago, that wasn't a problem, I could tell you that. We had a thriving small business. Anywhere you turn, you had small business popping up and were doing well. 27 years ago, we didn't have that problem. So the problem, as I will say, election have consequences, and the Labour Party is the party that believe that you're supposed to depend on government for everything. That's why people feel entitled, because of the philosophy of the Labour Party. You see, they always go around and say, we are the party for the poor. Yes, you keep people poor. If you ain't poor, make people poor, we ain't get poor people. You keep people poor. As the People's Action Movement always say, we not only going to give you a fish, we will teach you how to fish. And that's the philosophy of the People's Action Movement. That's why you used to have the national supplies. You look around, we had David Payne, the candy man, come from nothing till he had a big, a medium-sized business. Because we, the People's Action Movement, used to work alongside the small business owners. It's all about choices in election. we have to tell people this. You have to look carefully at the philosophies of the parties before you go vote. Look at what they stand for. The People's Action Movement thought that one day we could have professional sportsmen and women. So what we went out and do, we went out and put sporting facility in every community. Every community. We went around, put sporting facilities. When the Labour Party back then was saying, you can't take up a cane field and put down playground. Not having the foresight to see that someday you're going to get a Kayamba Gums. They didn't have the foresight to see someday you're going to get a Atiba Harris. You have to lay the foundation for growth, not just giving people handout and make people depend on you. So we got to look at the philosophy of the parties and know how we're going to vote. 27 years ago, St. Kitts and Nevis had a thriving economy. It was doing well. We had actually like zero unemployment 27 years ago. When the government changed 27 years ago, we had the Island Main Road had been resurfacing. We had the College of Further Education were building. We had Port Zante were going on. Is anywhere you turn, the government headquarters were building. Is anywhere you turn, there was a construction boom. That is why you find most of these people who you see migrated to St. Kitts, they come under the People's Action Movement, you know. The People's Action Movement actually lose an election because of the Guyanese them coming here. Because the Labour Party used to say, pay local more money, cut cane, bring in less Guyanese. The Guyanese are who go with the money. So the locals them start to rise up and say, yeah, it sound good. But what happened? The People's Action Movement had done foresee that the sugar industry going to be no longer profitable. So we start to move away from sugar. Then we start to have a boom in tourism industry. We start to have small business come up, popping up. In 1980, is only one thing we had no saying it was sugar. That's all.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that in just a few days on Friday, people are going to have to make the same decision that you're talking about, which party, which philosophy, which candidate they are going to support. And I for sure don't know what's gonna happen. I know
I help you, dear friend.
I know you are asking. I'm sure you are asking for the people to put in place a PAM CCM government. But time will tell. And one thing about time, it is also fast spent. and just before we wrap up, though, I would love to give you the opportunity to say any final words to the viewers and the listeners before we,
Time gone fast, but I wish we had Carlos. What I would like to say to all those out there who are listening, this election is a very, very serious election. If you want to vote for prosperity, your choice will be the movement, the People's Action Movement and the Concerned Citizens Movement, because the movement offers the best hope for the future. If you want to have a prime minister whom you could trust, then you have to choose Sean Richards, because we know that Sean Richards stands by his word. We know that. So Sean Richards is the best choice in St. Kitts and Nevis for Prime Minister. To the people of constituency number 6, I am asking you to give yourself a chance. Change the way you're voting. Give yourself a chance. Vote for Troy Flanders. In every constituency in St. Kitts and Nevis, the best hope for the future is the PAM CCM movement. So vote for every single PAM candidate. in every constituency if we really want to come out of this depressive state of mind that we are in. If we really want to see small business thriving again, vote for PAM. If you want to get your loans at a very comfortable rate, vote for PAM. In St. Kitts, PAM has delivered. PAM have a track record of delivering. Look at the history of the People's Action Movement. We have delivered for the people. You know, the Concerned Citizens Movement is a progressive party also. And that is what we need at this time. We need progressive movement in order to get us out of this situation that we are in. The People's Action Movement, PAM, is the best thing that happened to St. Kitts and Nevis. And let us vote for the future of our children and our children's children, the generation yet unborn. Let us vote for their future. A vote for any other organization is a vote to keep us in a depressive state, a vote to take us back to the IMF. And I think we have far gone past that. St. Kitts and Nevis could do much better than what we are doing now. We have the potential. And before I wrap up, as you were talking about entitlement, I actually feel like healthcare should be entitlement in St. Kitts and Nevis. That's what I feel. Healthcare should be entitlement. If you are not healthy, then there is no wealth in the country. If you have a healthy nation, I think that should be top priority of any administration, the health of the citizens.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, you ain't got no argument from us here. I can tell you that. I can tell you that.
But I could tell you all, on Friday, if you all undecided, please, for the next generation, give the movement that opportunity, vote PAM, because you're in St. Kitts.
All right. All right, man. Appreciate it. Well,
Thanks for the time, man.
Yeah, man, Mr. Flanders, I appreciate you taking the time out. I know this week is going to be go mango, as we right down into the last. Can't even say the last quarter. We need to be like in the 2 minutes, the last 2 minutes of this competition here.
Unbelievably so.
Yeah,
You know. Actually, I'm so glad to be here. I listen to you guys every morning, and what you all bring to the radio is just a breath of fresh air. You know, when I listen to it, it just make me laugh, and I just this to just really know to make people there.
Man, I appreciate it. So
Yeah,
you're a sipper
man.
too? We had no idea.
Huh?
We didn't know.
You're a sipper too. You're one of us.
Yeah, man, I like tea. I love tea, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, but trust me, it was our pleasure having you here this morning, and wishing you all the best
Yeah, man,
on
thanks.
Friday. And who knows? Maybe next time you join us here on the show, we might call it the Honorable Troy Flanders. Who knows?
Minister of Agriculture.
See, man, give you all your plug. I hope you all listening.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man,
Thank
thanks
you.
much.
Well, guys,
Just like that.
like that, we've come to the end of the show, Jade.
Yeah, man.
We gotta leave. We gotta go. We gotta send back. We gotta disappear.
One more day between now and that big day. Whenever they're going to give us time to go vote, like if we can, because I know by the time we come off the air, you know, the line's going to look crazy. Largest gets a little chance.
No.
Somebody say, whole a space for we could do that?
Yeah.
Like when your friend go to an event first and...
On you could tell him.
hold me space for me, I come in just...
Watch it. Let me tell you something. And let me say this.
Bring a polling station, boy, when I film.
Oh, look at that. But no, Jade, let me tell you something. Right now, I can say it every day until election.
So
all
just
election.
tomorrow?
All are you who done head done hot. But what are you gonna do? And this an election.
I just don't do me nothing, you know.
No, don't do nobody nothing. Just cool. Just cool. I sound ridiculous.
Bust my face, please.
I hearing some people talking like as if they done planning to just stay outside the polling stations.
I'm back Batland Stone?
with billy clubs. With billy clubs and
Aye,
baseball
Mr.
bats
Please.
and so. You all need to cool. We just want free, fair, peaceful elections. All right?
Simple.
Look,
Ain't
guys,
asking for a lot.
it's only a few more days. I mean, emotions are running high.
Too high.
Just cool. Just cool. In the words of the political poet himself, simmer down. Simmer down. Okay. But guys,
yes.
we had a great time this morning. Lovely to be back. Yes, we missed you guys as well.
We did, but we needed a little break.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
I think we all did.
Hopefully, y'all spent your time wisely. Y'all meditated and reflected. For $10, yeah, $10, Mr. Glenn. Lord, what kind of sip of this?
Watch yeah. Everybody looking something right now. Not for free in this.
Tell one of the politicians.
You hear the politician say we need ideas?
Tell one of the politicians that we say, give you $10 first.
No, Jade, we encouraging entrepreneurship. Glenn, I'll let you know. I don't vote in Connery, so we don't go on lines.
And I just vote in number 1.
Okay, well, you got a line.
You better believe it.
Yeah, I don't vote in Connery. Connery people are very well put together.
I'm not looking for... I mean, my polling station probably the safest, because it's the polling station.
Good point.
Yeah, man.
Good point.
But then, suppose all the police and do what? Dealing with all the other police stations.
No, people don't kick up by the police station. People don't kick up by the police station.
Thank God.
But guys, it's been lovely. If you joined us on YouTube, Facebook, winmediaskn.com, appreciate you big time. If you listen to us on the radio at 98.9 FM, big up to you as well, real OGs. Guys, please learn from the losses of others. And as I said earlier this morning, spend more time living your content than posting it.
Please, stop making yourself look idiotic on the internet.
Yeah, it don't leave. It is
the internet is forever. We have the screenshots.
Yeah. I need the list though, because I need to know people who I need to write off.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But guys, please remember, and if there's anything you take away from this morning, let this be it. You can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you guys tomorrow.
Fruta, taste the real Fruta, enjoy the real Fruta, refreshing juice of every day. Whoa, Fruta, drink the real Fruta, your favorite Fruta, the natural taste is Fruta. Fruta.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta, enjoy the real Fruta, refreshing juice of every day is Fruta.
Fruta, juiced right.